Hi everyone, it's Melissa Simcox from By Mimi with Love. How's everyone doing today? Hope you guys are great. I hope everyone is well. I am doing fairly well, and today I wanted to come on and share a review with you guys about the dollar store Tempera watercolors. I ended up getting like 3 packs of these. I cannot say enough good things about this watercolor. The colors blend to get just about any color you want. It just is so easy to paint with, and I'm really impressed with the watercolor. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I did. I did these paintings when I was visiting my daughter. And right now I'm practicing roses. I'm really wanting to get my roses down, but I thought that turned out pretty nice. And as you can see, I've got a lot of different colored leaves and flowers and shades. And like I said, I used nothing but the Tempera watercolors. So did that one. Then I wanted to see what I could do with, pulling out some colors that are not in your palette at all. So I had to create these peach colored roses to get that color and the coral in the buds as well. So you can see, I mean, it mixes amazingly. I just love how vibrant it is. I just love the colors. It was easy to get my shading, and they worked lovely. Here's one that I kind of did with the landscape. I wanted to see if how the highlighting, as you can see, you can kind of see the sand and the highlight and the shadows of the sand. Um, I love the way I was able to shadow in the trees. I love the way the colors layer. I layered the flowers on top of the darker colors, and as you can see, I mean, it just turned out really pretty. Now I'm no great painter, I know, guys, but I just wanted to share with you guys the effect you can get out of those Dollar Tree watercolors. I love the shading on the barn and how it turned out, but I thought this turned out really nice. I was able to get my highlights. I was able to lift color, deposit color, and shadow or lighten anywhere I needed to. And here's the last one I've done. Like I said, I've really been practicing the roses. My daughter got me a bedspread for Christmas that has the colors, the rose pattern on it, and these colors. So, like I said, I'm no great artist, but I love watercoloring and I love playing with it. I feel like it can be brought into all areas of our paper crafting, and I find myself using it quite a bit. Sorry about that, guys. I hit the camera. But yeah, if you haven't watercolored before, pick you up a pack of the brushes for $1 and a pack of these Tempera watercolors. And I think Dollar Tree even has some watercolor paper. Of course, it's not the greatest. You can always use some of their sketchbook. Um, that is one thing that I do like to color. I do like to watercolor on watercolor paper. The effect is much better. But so today, what we're going to do is I'm going to do a watercolor with you guys, and this is just a heavyweight um, 8.5 by 11 or 9 by 12. This is a 9 by 12 sheet of paper, watercolor paper, and what I want to do is I want to do a painting on this that is somewhat abstract, but only in colors, because I'm going to paint actual forms. But the end result here is I want to cut this up into potential ATC cards and have that as already done, um, to where anytime I need to do an ATC card, I've got my background 3.5 by 2.5 card already done. And these paints work great for this. Um, when I did my entry for Norma Lisa. That's what I did when I made her the series, the watercolor series ATC cards. So the first thing I did was, you can see my paper's curling just a little bit. That's because I had already, and I'm sticking my paintbrush just in clear water. I have two um, cups of water here, as you can see, and this is just the clear water. But I got to this point before and was filming it, and of course, immediately started having a coughing attack. And I got picked up some paint off of my palette right there, a little bit of black paint. But we're not going to worry about that. I don't want it in my brush, though. I like to use 2 glasses of water. That way I've always got a clean brush. I've got a cup of water that is, I'm going to clean my brush in, which is this little cup. And I'm going to get me another one of these guys to use for my second water because I really like this cup. I like that you can lay your paintbrush on it. And I also like that you can use these sides to scrape off water. So I'm going to get me another one of those. So now that I've done that, kind of getting out that black spot. I'm going to pour some of my paints. I want the blue. So I'm squirting out just a little. And there's 6 little slots in here, so I'm going to go ahead and squirt out a little bit of all of our colors. I did run low on the white because you use so much of the white to lighten or change the hue of your color. And this is another thing about this Tempera paint. It's a wet paint. The great thing about it also is it's so easy to work with. You don't have to scrub a pad, scrub a pad, and scrub a pad. And then you've also got a white, because this color is not gray, as I hear everybody that hauls call it, which is the same thing I called it when I first hauled it, because it looks gray on the package. But it's not, it's your white. And you don't often get to work with white in watercolor. It's, mostly you just leave your paper blank to get that kind of a highlight. So I've already used up 1 tube of my white. Like I said, you use a lot of the white because you can really change the hues a lot with the white. Okay. All right. So then like I said, I like having clean water to do my mixing with. And I also like to have the 2 little palettes, because I like to have this for the paint to puddle in, but I like to mix it on my little flat palette. So I'm going to put this brush down, and I'm going to grab and this is a number 12 brush, guys. It's a really big brush, but it's a great brush for your background colors. And like I said, I'm going to draw a specific, or not draw, but paint a specific painting. So I can use any color I want for whatever, because like I said, I'm going to cut this out. So I'm starting out with just some, this is going to be my sky. And I just find it easier to have something in mind, rather than just throwing the colors anywhere on the page. Although if you are good at that and it's easy for you to do like that and just throw colors and come up with shapes without stencils, then by all means do that if that's what you want to do. I just find it easier if I've got an ideal in my mind of what I'm doing. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm doing sky, even though it's a yellow sky. So I'm going to rinse that brush out. And now I think I'm going to do some blue down here on the bottom. And I definitely want it to be a light wash. And see where I already wet my paper, it makes getting my wash on there a whole lot easier. And you can see I'm not taking a whole lot of time with this, just swishing my brush back and forth and kind of let the color go where it will. Okay. Now I think I'm going to go for a little more yellow and a little more of this blue. And we're just going to pick up a little of the yellow, a little of the blue. And we're going to come in with a little bit of green. And I'm just going to wash that right in there. And like I said, guys, you can use any colors you want to for this. All right. Kind of happy. Just keep going with that until you're happy with your background. Just a little bit of this blue and green over here. I've evidently got some white paint on my table because I just keep picking up white paint. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of my number 12. And now I want to come in, and this is the brush I paint the most with, and I believe it is a number 4. Yeah, this is my favorite size on the watercolor brush. And what I want to do with this, first I'm just going to use the colors as they are. I'm picking up a little red. I'm going to add a little more color or water to that. More paint. I want it to be somewhat thin, but not really thin, because I want to get some vibrant colors. Now I'm just going to come back in here, and since I've done my sky and my grass, even though they're yellow and blue, Now I'm going to do flowers. And I'm just going to take and lay my brush down. Pick up a little more paint. And you can see how well these colors can layer on top of the other. I just love that. So I'm just sitting my brush down to make my petals. Okay, come in, wash this brush out. Now I'm going to take and pick up a little of my white to lighten this up since I've already got it out here. Now I've got my pink color. I want to go just a little bit lighter on the pink. Add a little more water. So you can see why I like having the clean water to mix my paints with. Okay, because the water can get really muddy. And this time I'm going to come in and I'm going to do some pink flowers. And I'm going to start over here on these. And it's just going to be little dots with my brush. Nothing very complicated, as you can see. I'm just tapping color onto the page. And I know this isn't looking like much right now, guys, but you'll get it. This is such an easy, quick way to do a background for a lot of ATCs. Okay, I'm going to dry my brush out. I'm just going to go back in with these and just do a little, just lay down a little bit of red right in the center. And rinse that brush again. And now I'm going to do some blue. And with the blue, they're just going to be little bitties. I'm just tapping my brush, making little blue blooms. As you can see, just tapping. Now I want to come in with some more yellow. And since I mixed green, I'm going to leave that little spot right there for green. Once again, I'm just tapping my brush. Not looking like much right now. But it will. Let's put a little bit of the yellow over here too. And since we got yellow on a brush, let's go in here and tap a little yellow in the center of these red petals that are almost dry now. So here's what we're working with so far, guys. Really mostly nothing but a bunch of scribbles, as you all can see. Like I said, I'm no great artist. Okay, now I want just maybe a little bit of a orange-like color. So let's pick up a little bit of this red again and maybe a little yellow. And see, this just mixes so beautifully, I think. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to lay down the brush from side to side. And try not to go back on your watercolor while it's wet. It's better off to let your first layer dry, and then if you want to darken or lighten or shadow, it's much easier to get your color if you wait until the first layer dries. And once again, we're going to go with over here, and all I'm doing is just laying my brush down flat. I'm going to come up here with that and do the same thing. Well, as you can see, I ended up doing that one, excuse me, a little different. But I'm telling you guys, it's okay. It's no worries. Okay. Now I'm going to rinse my brush off, and I'm going to get me a little more blue. And I'm going to pick that up along with some of the red, and I'm going to make this purple. There we go. Like I said, I just love the way this paint mixes. Once again, now this time I'm going to go around and around and close it. Lay my brush down, I'm going around and close it. Once again, around, lay my brush down and close it. Then go on the outside of that one, the outside of that one, and the outside of that one. I know, guys, it's really looking like a big mess at this point. I'm going to put a little more red in my purple. And then I'm going to do some of these in this purple. Just coming right back in here where these guys are. Okay. Now, get some green going. So we need a little more blue. Got some yellow already. Coming in, mixing that green. Just a little more blue. Want it more of a blue-green. Even more than that. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with my smaller brush. Actually, I'm going to use the smaller flat brush because I want to do some, and I'm just going to tap and tap to get some greenery on these flowers down here. So I'm just using my brush and tapping that in. Then I'm going to come back with my big brush. And starting from the bottom, and of course it's better if you use a piece of scrap paper to do this. Starting from the bottom, I'm just going to come up do some of this. Just getting some grass or greenery or whatever. Up on the sides. All right. Oops. Now I'm going to come back in with this brush and a lot more of this blue. So I'm going to put a little bit of that blue right in that green because I want this to be kind of thick, not as watery. And then I'm going to come in with the blue and kind of give the flowers a stem, because remember I said you can use any color. It doesn't have to make sense because it's pretty much abstract at this point. Giving all my flowers a little stem. Maybe a little bit bigger one on these. Just trying to give them all a little bit of a stem illusion, if you. So still looks pretty rough, guys. I know. Not the prettiest painting you've ever seen. But bear with me because it's going to work. Put some of that color down here. And then I'm going to come in with my big brush again, pick all this up that I can get, and just give it some more of these stems. Yeah, really not not the greatest picture I've ever seen, but it will work. Now I'm going to come back in with, I think, some yellow and red and get some orange on our purple. So I'm yellow and red again. A mixy. A little water with that. And we're going to just come in here and add a little yellow to these flowers. And as you can see, we got a lot of colors going on. Now I want to come back up to the top here. Let's get a little red in there. I don't want it to look muddy. So I'm going to pick up some red and orange, and we're going to put some maybe clouds up in here. Although that's a very orange clouds. I'm going to kind of run that into the rest of the sun. And maybe over here. And then let's get some more red. And we're going to do like some red. That's red cloud there, and maybe we're going to put a red, some red over here on this side. I mean, you guys can see I'm not doing a whole lot here, just kind of trying to get color down on the page. And we are getting to 33 minutes. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to let this dry. And then I'm going to show you guys what I do next with it. One thing I do like to do as I'm finishing up is get my colors really wet. Lots of water. And then a little tap tap. I have shimmer sprays too, but I wanted to only use the watercolors from the Dollar Tree this time to make this project with. Adding a little more blue right there. A little more water. I'm going to pick up some of the black, add a little more water, and be careful with your black, but the black really, I think, does something for it. I don't know. Okay, a little more right here. And then let's do a yellow splash. Uh-oh, that got really muddy. It'll still work. Now, you guys probably aren't thinking this looks much like a sky or brown, but it doesn't matter. It's just easier for me to paint with something in my mind other than just abstract. Okay, so here's what I've got, guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to come back in a part 2 video and show you guys what I do next with it. So, from By Mimi with Love, if you hadn't already, hit that sub and like, thumbs up, hit the sub button, join me, and I hope you liked this video. Can't say enough good things about the Tempera watercolor plant paints. As you can see, you can get any colors, all the colors you want out of this. So if you haven't before, you need to give this a try because this makes watercoloring easy. But anywho, guys, see you guys in a few with part 2. Bye-bye.